Okay, so good morning everyone. So myself J.S. Raman, a corporate trainer and associate project manager working with Sri Mookambika and Fortech Solutions Madurai. Okay, so here this is one of the lecture series that I am handling for the Amazon AWS Solution Architect curriculum, out of which today's discussion is going to be with IAM. So IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. Okay, IAM stands for Identity and Access Management, which is nothing but users, resource and privilege control services. What are all the credentials that need to be given to the user in terms of resources? Here the resources associated with these Amazon resources such as S3, EC2, Glacier, like associated resources of Amazon Web Services, and privileges, what sort of activity the user can able to perform on that resources. We can able to set it using a service called as IAM. Okay, so it's a web service through which we can make the user to securely control the access of AWS users. Okay, so with this AWS, what you can do with, you can perform two things. By assigning this IAM to a user, you can perform the following two things. One is authentication. And second one is authorization. These are all the two things associated with your IAM. Authentication in sense, what are all the resources that particular user can use. Okay, what are all the ways that we can use is authorization. These are all the two things which can be controlled using IAM. Whenever you make a login to the AWS, you will make a login to your root user credentials. Your root user credentials only will be made the login. So here you want to share certain services need to be accessible under certain particular users. Okay, without giving your root user privileges, what you can do, you can create IAM users. Then those users, let me create a user by name Ram. Let me create a user by name Arun. So I want this user to be given only privileged access to EC2 services alone. This user need to be restricted access with S3 alone. Let me create another user Balu. This user need to be given access only to Glacier alone. Like this, for each and every user, I can set privileges. So what they can do and how they can access everything using this IAM. So what, without giving my this root user credentials. If I am having the root user credential, I can able to access all the services. But I want the services to be restricted to some extent. In sense, I need to create IAM user under my root user credentials, and those users can be given these access privileges for the above said services. That's what that we are going to discuss. So by IAM, what's the advantages? We can give a granularity level permissions by sharing the root user account. Okay, we can allow other peoples like Ram, in this case Arun and Balu, to make use of my root user account, but without sharing my password, without sharing my access key or secret key. I can make these users, even these users no need to have their own cloud account credentials. They will be under my account credentials. Let me make my name is Ram. I got account credentials from Amazon. Using these account credentials, they can make a login. And to which extent, what are all the resources that is permitted for them, what are all the services that is permitted for them, that alone that they can able to use. We can grant granularity permissions to different peoples, the different resources. Okay, this is the way by which we can make use of this IAM. Also, the second key point is that we can also make secured access to AWS resources. So by permitting the user to access certain services, we can make a secure access to AWS resources. So apart from that, there is a concept called as MFA, multi-factor authentication. MFA stands for multi-factor authentication. what these services will do. This is one of the key services associated with the IAM. Here we can give extra security to the user. So the user, once it is created as an IAM user, will be assigned a password as a first security. Also, we can associate this user with this MFA, additional level of security, so that whenever the user make a connection using this URL that is shared to him, not only you need to give the password, also one time 6-digit password which is generated by this MFA devices. This with MFA, this user can be associated with either with the mobile phone or with the devices shared by Amazon. Okay, these are all the way by which the user can able to associate with the MFA. In this example, what we are going to show you, so how a user can be assigned is a mobile phone for its multi-factor authentication, and how to generate this key, and how to the user can make a connection by using this second level of security credentials MFA is going to be discussed here. Okay, so these are all some of the key features associated with this IAM. So how you can access this IAM? You can able to access the IAM either using this AWS management console. That is one way. Or you can able to make use of AWS command line interfaces, or you can make use of the application programming interfaces, APIs, which is APIs and SDK, software development kit, coming with this Amazon. These are all the various ways by which you can make use of a connection with IAM. Okay. So with IAM, what are all the key characteristics? Here it provides a shared access to the AWS account. Okay, shared access to the AWS account. Without actually sharing my root credentials, I can allow other users to access my account with a granularity assigned permissions. According to what permissions has been assigned, the user can able to access only those services. Okay, we can also add more security by way of associating a MFA, multi-factor authentication. So not only here, you can also go up with this identity federation. Okay, you no need to have a separate federation. The user can have a password associated with this existing infrastructure, that is your corporate network. Then using that credentials, he can be permitted to authenticate it. So these are all some of the associated advantages, or we call what we call as the features associated with IAM. Okay. A concise of what we have discussed. So IAM user is nothing but, okay, so user here instead of accessing the AWS using this root account credentials, what he can do is, okay, so here he can make use of the root credentials of other user. Then the IAM user does not have a separate account. They are the users with that root account, and each and every user can be assigned a own password and a URL associated, using which he can able to access the AWS services either through AWS management console, or through command line interface, or through SDKs. Here each and every user, according to what he is assigned, that sort of access services you can make use of it. So here in this case, we can create, in this example, a root user account under which we have Brad, Jim. So these are all users associated. These are all groups. DevOps, we can even add users to the group and assign privileges to those groups, okay, through IAM. So we have DevOps 1, DevOps 2, and test app and test. These are all the groups under which what are all the users associated can also be permitted to make a utilization of this IAM, identity and access management policies. Okay, so these are all the advantages of going for this IAM. So here, in terms of policies has been concerned, we have different types of policies. What policies will do? The policies can be attached to the users or the groups or to the roles. What are all the things a user can able to work with? That is defined in terms of IAM policies. Okay. So the process here is we want to create the flow associated with the IAM is we want to create a IAM user. Once the user has been created, a URL will be assigned with the above said user password. So to whom that I need to make access? For the user, I need to share the URL. Then the URL, using that URL in a web browser, the user can able to connect with the AWS and he can work with the services that is assigned to you. For example, if a user RAM in this case is given EC2 services alone, user RAM can able to access only EC2 services. So another user Arun, if he has again for each and every user a separate URL will be there along with the password for that user. The user alone Arun, if he has permitted to access S3, he can able to access the S3 alone. Okay, this is the way by which you can assign IAM. So you can assign policies. Those policies can be either a user defined policy. You can define your own policy, or the policies may be Amazon defined policies. Amazon defined. Okay, under which we have inline policies, manager policies, different top policies that I will let you know how a policy can be created and how a policy can be set. Today's session is going to be focused on creating a IAM user, how to create a IAM user. Then while creating a IAM user, how to set privileges. Privileges in sense, what are all the Amazon associated services the user can make use of it. Then how to assign a MFA, multi-factor authentication to the user, and how to check this thing. Okay, logging and checking out whether he can able to access only the privileges assigned and how a multi-factor authentication can be associated. This is the agenda for today's session. Okay, let me move slightly to our Amazon account. So by the account with my account credential www.aws.amazon.com. Click on this AWS management console with your user credentials. Okay, you need to get these credentials. I am going to make a login with my credentials. So since I had already configured a multi-factor authentication, so I need to provide my authentication code. Okay, here this authentication code that I can be associate a mobile of mine, or I can make use of a device which I can get from AWS for cost. A device looking like a old pager. So my authentication code, what I need to install a mobile application. Here, what are all the applications supported in terms of the associated platforms, whether you have a Windows platform or you are having an Apple platform or you are having a Android platform. Accordingly, you need to install that applications. I had installed Google Authenticator for my association. So I had installed an application by name Google Authenticator. So similar, I will let you know what are all the other applications which support. It is according to your mobile. Okay, download the Google Authenticator in your mobile, under which you are going to associate your MFA. Here, it will generate the authentication code. That authentication code will be refreshed every 1 minute once. The code will be refreshed every 1 minute once. I am going to assign my code. It will be refreshed 1 minute once. In your mobile, you want to make a check it. So now at that time, my code is a 6-digit code. Okay. So since it is timed out, it prompts me for once again. My code is, now it is changed. For every 1 minute once, my code will change. If and only if matches, it will authenticate you as a legitimate user and it will take you to the services. Okay. So I associated MFA with my root account. You can check it. Go to the root account. Go to my security credentials. Here you can find out MFA authentication. Okay. You can find, click on this MFA authentication, the device associated. What is the device? The serial number associated with that device will be shown to you. So since I associated a multi-factor authentication. Okay. Now let me create a user here. So go to the service IAM, Identity and Access Management, which is coming under security and identity and compliances. So when you go to this, you will be welcomed with the dashboard. So for this root user, this MFA has been activated. Okay, for this root user, the MFA has been activated. You can find a check with the blue box, sorry, green box here. So these are all not associated. I am going to create an individual user now. Create a user and add a user. Okay, the username may be Ram. So here it prompts for a access type. We can have access type assigned to the user, either AWS management console access or a programmatic access. So if the user is given a programmatic access, then he can able to access to AWS APIs and command line interfaces and SDKs. In that sense, he needs this access key and secret access key need to be generated. Okay, a one-time generated access key and secret access key. Now I am going to first in this exercise, I am going to assign the user only AWS console access. Okay, then the password. Let me assign a custom password. Let me assign a password as of you. Assign a password. Okay. So here, these are all the other options. Whether the user after the password has been shared, it should be given an option for changing the password. Then you can make a check. If not, you can proceed further. Next, permissions. So in setting the permission, what you can do, there are three options. One, you can initially create a group and the group may be assigned certain privileges, and if you add a user to the group, what are all the privileges assigned with that group will be shared by the user. Okay, I will show you to you. You want to create a group. In this example, you can find there is a group administrator. We have a group developers and we have a test. Admin group will be associated with some privileges. When a user added with the admin groups, what are all the privileges assigned to the admin groups can be done by the user Bob and Sushan. Okay, so the developer group may have its own set of privileges. So the user Nat, Brad and DevOps can able to access what privileges are set. So here it prompts us whether to add a user to the existing group so that the privilege assigned to the group is applicable for the user, or let me imagine we have a user Arun. The user Arun may have some privileges. I want the user Ram that I am going to create need to be assigned with the same privileges what Arun has been assigned. Okay. So I am having a user Arun. The user Arun is already created user. He is having EC2 access. He is having S3 access. He is having a Glacier access. All three access is permitted to the user. So I am creating a new user Ram. Okay, I am creating a new user Ram. So Ram can be assigned privileges either step 1. So there may be a group, a developer group, under which we may have privileges EC2 and we may have a privilege S3 alone. If a RAM is added to the developer group, then RAM can able to access this EC2 and S3. That is option 1. The second, if I want all the privileges assigned to Arun also need to be assigned to the RAM, then option 2, copy permissions from existing user. The third privilege, we can create our own policies. Either the policies can be either a predefined policies of Amazon, or we can create our own policies to the user accordingly. So that is option 3. Here we are going to start with option 3, attach existing policies directly. Okay. Now I click on attach existing policies directly. Now it will list us all the policies. Okay, administrator access. It gives us full access as that of your root user. Similarly, you can get these privileges for all RDS, DMS, DynamoDB, like all the policies will be listed here. Which policy that you are interested? Now we are interested in Amazon EC2 full access. This is one policy. Okay, we can have sub access association of this EC2. So we can permit the user only EC2 read only or EC2 role. So particular sub policies associated with the main policies can be also permitted. Now let me assign the user EC2 for RAM. Okay, yes. Then attach existing policies at accessing EC2 full access. You can able to create the instance, you can able to connect with the instance, you can able to drop the instance, list the instance, all the policies are set. Okay, so these are all the associated policies. You can make use of any policy. If a user want to assign Amazon S3, then you want to assign Amazon S3 full access. Else, if you want to give a final granularity of access, you want to give read-only access. These are all associated sub-policies under S3. Okay. Now let me click on next. Review. Now username is Ram. Okay. He can able to access this Amazon through the management console. Then he assigned a password. At the time of its login, he need a password. Then he has been assigned a policy Amazon EC2 full access. Let me create a user. Now the user is created. You can click on this user. Click user. So it will take you to the user prompt. Okay, you click this user. You can find the permissions. If he is attached to any group, each and every user will be associated with the ARN. ARN stands for Amazon Resource Name. This is the way by which a user is uniquely identified. ARN, Amazon Resource Name. Okay, the group will let us whether the user is added to any group. The security credentials of the user. It is ensure that the user is enabled with a password. Then here the user is not assigned a MFA. You can find out whether he is assigned a MFA device. The user is not assigned a multi-factor authentication. Once we assign a MFA, the user can able to access the resources. Okay. So access key. So if the user need to be given access through CLI command line interface or through SDKs and APIs, you need this access key. You can click on this create access key. It will create the access key for the users. So this file is downloadable. So the access key and the secret access key, okay, because these are all the two keys that you need to make a copy of that. Let me download this. Okay, access key and secret access key for the user RAM, and you store it in a separate place. Okay, let me store it in a desktop. Under a desktop, you can create a folder and store the folder AWS. Let me make it AWS IAM. So under which I am assigning the copy of access key. So laterly we need this access key and secret access key while we are going to discuss how to make a connection with the Amazon command line interface. Now we don't need that. Okay, these are all the credentials associated. So now we have each and everything associated. Now we are going to make a connection with the user. Okay, how to make a connection with the user? We have created the user, step 1. Now the step 2, we have at the time of creation the user, we have assigned the privileges to the user. Now we are going to make a check how to make a connection with the user. You click on the dashboard. This is the URL that is shared, that need to be shared to the user. Click on this URL. Okay, copy. Let me open another browser. Let me open another browser. Copy the URL. It will take you. So Instead of this IE, yeah, you can take you to the account. Then you want to type the username. The username is Ram. Okay. The password that I assigned to the user is Sri Ranga. SRIRANGA. Let me make a sign in. Okay. Being the user is given a privilege to change the password accordingly. My old password is Sri Ranga. I am assigning a new password. Confirm password change. Now the user Ram will be permitted to make a login into the Amazon account, and he can make use of the credentials that is associated with the user. Here in this case, the user has been given only a root user credential. Okay, that alone that he can make use of it. Let me check it. To first come out of your root user credential, let me check. So this is the URL assigned to the user. Click on the URL. Now my username and the revised username is Ram. I had the revised password. Sign in. Now it got connected to the services. Now you can find, so what are all the services here? These are all the services. Out of these services, which services has been permitted? For this user, only EC2 has been permitted. Let me check S3, whether he can able to do anything on S3. So it is showing access denied. These services won't be given access to the user. Let me try with RDS, relational data store. It also be denied. You can't do any activity. Okay, let me try to launch a database, launch database. Then it shows failed to load data, user is not authorized to perform. So let me try what is the access given to the user. EC2 is the access given to the user. Let me try with EC2. This user can be he can able to access all the things associated with EC2, all the services. He can able to launch an instance. He can able to connect with the instance. All the things that he can do. He can able to list all the associated. You can find the credentials here. The user is IAM user. Okay. So the username is Ram. He is coming under the account. Then these are all the associated credentials. You can log out of the user, sign out. So let me create another example. Let me create another user and allow the user only S3 privilege, and let me make a check. Okay, whether it is working fine. And laterly, we can assign a multi-user. Connect using your root user. Click on this AWS Management Console. Once you enable the IAM user, this IAM account credentials will be listed. So if you want to log in as a root user, what you need to do, click the following sign in using root user account credential, which is down to the sign in tab. Okay, click on this. Then only you can able to log in as a root user credentials. Sign in using your root user credentials. Let me, okay, again, being I associated MFA with my user, I need to give this authentication. This authentication code is here I can show. So now let me create a another user. IAM, go to IAM, click on user, click on add user. Let me add another user. Arun, we give access management console a custom password. Okay. So here you no need to assign and create new password. So permissions. Okay. Attach existing policies directly. You can attach S3. Okay. Amazon S3 full access. Scroll down. Amazon S3 full access. Okay. Click on next review. So create a user. That's all. The user is created. Close. Okay. User Arun created with the above set. Here is he not yet associated with any group. If you want to add a user to a group, simply create a group. Let me create a new group. The group name may be admin group. Okay. Next step. So let me assign privileges EC2 full privilege, and let me assign another privileges to the group. That is your S3 privilege. You can find out AWS S3 full access. So need to scroll down. You can set policies to the group. Okay. So let me first start with the EC2 policies. You can assign multiple policies. If you want to assign multiple policies, S3 full access is another access. IAM user change password. Like you can assign multiple policies. Now I assigned two policy for the particular group. Admin EC2 full access and Amazon S3 full access. Let me create a group. Okay, I created a group by name admin. The group does not have any users. Okay, let me add a user to the group. Let me create a initially. Let me create another user and give an AWS access. Okay, a custom password. Here, the user belongs to the group admin. Let me add that the user belongs to the group admin. Okay, so what are all the privileges assigned to this admin will be assigned to the user. User belongs to the group admin. So the admin group is containing the following privileges. Access privileges success. Okay, so let me check this. Now we have three. One, the RAM user. Now we have checked he has been given assigned to only EC2. Okay. Now this Arun user is given only to S3 access. Then the third user Mala, being she assigned to this group. The group is admin group. The admin group already contain two privileges. Okay. Access EC2 full and S3 access. This user Mala So he can able to do all the access, EC2 and S3 full access. Now let me check with the user. So Arun, okay, Arun need to be accessible. Which one? S3 alone. He should not be able to access any other thing apart from that. Let me make a connection with the console. Control C. Before that, you make a logout of your root credential. Then only it will be work. Aruna. Now using the user Arun and its password, I make a login. The user Arun should be given access only to which thing? S3. He should not be given access any other thing. Let me try with EC2 with this account. It shows you can't do anything. You are authorized to describe a running instance. No activity can be done by the user. Okay, but if you go to the service S3, the user can able to do all the activity associated with the S3. This is the way by which he can able to create anything that he can do with. Okay, so he can able to create a bucket. He can store object with the bucket, like all the associated activity, uploading objects, downloading objects, everything that he can do with the bucket. So we create a bucket for the user. Okay, the bucket may be Arun 6. So let me create. The bucket need to be unique. We have a separate. So since the bucket name need to be unique, so it is throwing a error. That's all. Okay, we created a bucket. Laterally, you can do, if you want to add anything, you can add the actions. You can upload any object to the bucket. Click on add. Okay, so let me add this access key. Open. Start upload. All the actions will be permitted for the user. Okay, that's all. This is the way by which user at the time of creation, what privilege has been assigned can be accessed. So let me again connect to the console and let me check with the third user that we have created, Mala. She should have access to both EC2 as well as S3. Let me make it with username sign in. Okay, so she will be given, let me check with EC2. She can do any action on EC2. Okay, so also he can also do any action on S3. This is the way you can find the user Mala. Okay, she can do any action on S3. This is the way by which the user under IAM can be made accessible according to the privileges what we are interested for that user. So let me assign, multi-factor authentication for the same user. How to assign a multi-factor authentication? Okay, let me make a connection to this console. Sign in users are using account. You want to, while assigning some privileges, you need to log in as a root user with these root user credentials. Now we are going to discuss how to assign a MFA, multi-factor authentication for the same user. Now my authentication code is the following thing. Each and every time it will change. Now let I go for IAM and let me assign a credential for user Ram. Let me click on, now we have 3 users and 1 groups and 3 roles assigned to that. Now we can find for a user. Let me take the user Ram. Okay. So here for the user, if we click on this security credentials, it shows that MFA is not assigned. Let me assign a MFA. Click on this, assigned MFA. you can assign either a hardware MFA device that you can got from Amazon, or you can assign your mobile using this option, virtual MFA device. Next. So if you want the authentication to be done using virtual MFA, what you need to do? So you need to install the above said services in your mobile. Okay. So these are all the services that you need, the application that you need, Google Authenticator or RT two-factor authentication for Android mobile, or Google Authenticator for iPhone. Then Windows Phone is Authenticator. So Google Authenticator supports all other except the Windows Phone. You want to download and you need to install these applications in your mobile phone. Okay. So let me make it next. So next step. So here the activate the virtual MFA. You want to first install AWS multi-factor authenticated compatible application on the user's smartphone or PCs or any other device. Okay. I have configured Google Authenticator in my device. Next step. What I need to do. So here you want to scan this QR code. You want to scan the QR code. Once you scan the QR code, automatically the authentication code will be generated. You first download and install this Google Authenticator. Let me first show. Now I am scanning my QR code. So this QR code in turn will generate two authentication code. Okay, you want to type this authentication code. First code generated is, it is up to your choice. You want to check up with your authenticator. Okay, 207988. These are all the two codes that is generated under my mobile. Activate virtual MFA. Okay, let me change the authentication code. 301473. And first, after typing the first code, you wait for until the next code got generated. It took a minimum 1 minute. For every 1 minute interval, a new code will be generated. Now a new code has been generated, that is 003948. Activate the virtual MFA. Now the device association is successful. You can find the security credentials, the assigned MFA device you can able to find out. Next time, if a user make a connection, we can check it. The user RAM, the security credentials you can find. Initially it is no in this MFA device. Now you can find a device associated. Let me check it. Log out and connect with these credentials. Okay, this is the link the user need to download. So connect. Since the user is now invoked with multi-factor authentication, it prompts you, apart from username password, this MFA code need to be given to the console to then it will authenticate. Now you can find username password. If you type, it prompts for a MFA code. The MFA code now generated is 678462. Now submit this code. Okay, now the user will be allowed to give an access. This is the way by which you can create a user, assign privilege to the user. To add more security credentials, you can also associate a MFA, multi-factor authentication, to the user. Okay, so this is the way by which you need to work with this IAM. Thanks a lot for your patience. You will receive the subsequent videos, okay, of this AWS soon. Thanks a lot. So here I will let you know my identity. So myself, GS Raman. I am working as an associate project manager also a freelance training consultant. Okay. So my contact 94434540002, or you can call me with this mobile 8870324388. My, if you want to have any mail interaction, Raman Sriranga at gmail.com. Okay, so thanks a lot. Once again we meet with another video. Thank you.